when life is going to shit, just go buy you some books. I mean, you could be doing a lot worse to yourself, to your mind, to your body, but just go buy some books. Hi friends, I am Shelby Monet and welcome back to Shelby and the Book Club. In today's video, I'm going to give you a book haul. I have accumulated a few books over the last few weeks. Some book mail, we got a cover Snob box, just a whole host of things that have come in the mail, some that I've purchased, some that were gifted. So I thought I'd come and show them to you. Before we get started, I am sitting in the living room. My mom is in the kitchen cooking. Gunner's down here terrorizing the place. What you hear in the background is what you hear in the background. We is one big happy family, like a giant tree in here, okay? Before we get started, remember to like, comment, subscribe. All the books mentioned will be linked down below in the underneath a bar. It is called the underneath a bar because it is underneath the video and it has everything in it that you could be looking for. My social media links, if you want to send me a coffee, if you want to buy any of the books and support this channel or the book club, if you want to join the book club Discord, everything is down there in the underneath the bar, okay? All right, let's get into it for real this time. Now, first up, we're going to start with the Cover Snob book box, which is a Black-owned romance subscription. You guys know I get a box every month. And this month, we got Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. This is absolutely beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful, okay? But look at the edges. Like, I don't think I've ever been so in love with getting fancy books in the mail. Like, every time my Cover Snob comes, I'm introduced to a new author or an author that I love already, and the book is just so pretty. They are coming up on their 1-year anniversary, so I would look out for some fun things that will be going on. But again, Just Our Luck. This one says, Sybil Sweet has always been lucky, but lately she can't catch a break. After years of bouncing from job to job in search of something that feels right and from man to man in search of something special, Sybil is worried that she's the directionless, floundering daughter her family thinks she is. All she really wants now is a little financial stability and carb comfort. Lucky for her, she's got just enough in the bank to buy a lottery ticket and the late night donut store is open. Kieran Anderson put his dreams of becoming a doctor on hold to take over running his family's bakery, and after fighting a losing battle to save the place, he's exhausted, broke, and no closer to getting back to school. But when a whirlwind of a woman sweeps in late one night, flirty energy gives way to more until she runs out the next morning, leaving behind her winning lottery ticket. This sounds like it's going to be super cute. If you would like a copy or you would like to sign up for Cover Snob, please use my code Shelby Monet to get you a discount. Also, it comes with a signature plate and there is a bookmark that matches the sprayed edges. Ain't that cute? I love it. 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 Okay, everything else here was gifted to me. Thank you to the publishers that are constantly sending things to the house for me or answering my emails when I request stuff. Y'all are the absolute best. So here we have The Great Man. This is by Kyra David Laurie, I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is a historical fiction and it's a retelling of oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name of the book? The Great Gatsby. It's a retelling of The Great Gatsby. So this has actually been one of my most anticipated releases of the year, so I'm super excited to have this. It comes out in June 10th, actually. June 10th is a good date. The Great Man comes out June 10th. King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby comes out June 10th. Plus Size Player comes out June 10th. June is feeding us. So very excited about that. Swift River by S.E. Chambers. This was gifted to me by Simon & Schuster. The paperback comes out soon. This tells the story of a young girl who is mixed race, but because her father has gone missing, she is the only Black person in the town of Swift River. Excuse me. And being in search of her father has led her and her mother to, well, her specifically, to getting to know her Black side of her family. And she's gonna uncover a whole bunch of stuff. I was also gifted the audiobook for this by Libra FM, so shout out to y'all. Libra FM is okay. Sign up for Libra FM. Next, this also comes out in June. I'm not sure what day in June. This is a debut author. I can't wait to read this. Okay, Great Black Hope. First of all, I just want you to get into this cover. The cover alone, I said, oh, I need that. I need that. Rob Franklin, I feel like you about to get the girls together with this, okay? It actually comes out on June 3rd, which is next week. So will I be getting a hard copy? Yes. Yes. So it says, an arrest for cocaine possession at the end of a sweltering New York summer leaves Smith, a queer Black Stanford graduate, in a state of turmoil. Pulled into the court system, mandated treatment, he finds himself in an absurd but dangerous situation. His class protects him, but his race does not. It's just weeks after the shocking death of Smith's beloved friend Elle, the daughter of a famous soul singer, and he's still reeling from the tabloid spectacle, as well as lingering questions of what really happened the night she died. He flees to his hometown of Atlanta, only to come up against the weight of expectations from his family of doctors, lawyers, and college presidents. When Smith returns to New York, it's not long before he begins to lose himself to his old life, drawn back into the city's underworld, where his search for answers may end up costing him his freedom and his future. Great Black Hope is a propulsive, glittering story about what it means to exist between worlds, to be upwardly mobile, yet spiraling downward, and how to find a way back to hope. I will also say, if I remember, I will put on the screen the UK cover. The UK cover for this is beautiful. And then we have People Like Us by Jason Mott. This was gifted to me by Dutton. Thank you so much. So this says, People Like Us is Jason Mott's electric new novel. It is not memoir, yet it has deeply personal connections to Jason's life. And while rooted in reality, it explodes with dreamlike experiences that pull a reader in, from time travel to sea monsters and peacocks to feelings of love and memory so real they hurt. And People Like Us, two Black writers are trying to find peace and belonging in a world riven with gun violence. One is on a global book tour after a big prize win. The other is set to speak at a school that has suffered a shooting. And as their two storylines merge, truths and antics abound in equal measure. Characters drink booze out of an award trophy. Menaces lurk in the shadows. Tiny French cars putter around the countryside. Handguns seem to hover in the air, and dreams endure against all odds. This sounds like, if you are a fan of Percival Everett and his form of satire, that this is going to be the book for you. I can't wait to read this. When does it come out? I think this is another June release. I'll put it on the screen. Wait, hold the line. You know, the publishers be putting stuff in the books when they mail them down to the house. But this don't tell me when this book come out. Okay. Never mind. But yeah. Oh, it said right on the front of the book, August 5th. Baby, you know, for a heifer that read all the time, I sure don't be reading. My God, today. So those are all my gifted books. Again, thank you to publishers. Y'all are awesome. I love getting book mail, and it's always fun to have the ARC and the physical copy on my shelf at the same time. Now to things that I've purchased. I opened this video saying that when life is going to shit, just buy books. and that's what I've done, so don't judge me. First up, in no particular order, we have Notes of a Native Son by James Baldwin. If you guys remember, back in February, Go Tell It on the Mountain was the book club pick with Jess's book club, Literature Noir book club, and someone, I feel like in our book discussion, mentioned that this is a good like companion read or something to also read that will explain Go Tell It on the Mountain further. So I've wanted this copy for a while, and I saw it in the Montclair Book Center. So if you guys are from New Jersey, if you're in the North Jersey area, Montclair Book Center is a used bookstore. They have all types of books in there. I go in there fairly often, and I saw this like as soon as I walked in, and it was awesome, so I grabbed it. Speaking of James Baldwin, I got Letter to Jimmy. This is by Alan Mabanku. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but this is a translated work. So the back says, written on the 20th anniversary of James Baldwin's death, Letter to Jimmy is African writer Alan Mabanku's ode to his literary hero in an effort to place Baldwin's life in context within the greater African diaspora. Beginning with the chance encounter with a beggar wandering along a Santa Monica beach, a man whose ragged clothes and unsteady gait reminded the author of a character out of one of James Baldwin's novels, Allen uses his own experiences as an African living in the United States as a launch point to take the readers on a fascinating tour of Baldwin's life. As Allen reads Baldwin's work, he is always probing for answers about what it must have been like for the young writer to live abroad as an African American, to write obliquely about his own homosexuality, and to seek out mentors like Richard Wright and Ralph Ellison, only to publicly reject them later. I mean, that just sounded really, really good. And I've never seen that book before. And the cover is just absolutely stunning. Like, I mean, our Uncle Jimmy was obviously like, clock it. He was the baddest, okay? But this cover is giving that. Love it. And it's a translated work. I want to read more translated works. Next, how long have you been following me? Have you been following me long enough to remember when I got on the internet and told you how terrible and bad the Hulu show Kindred was? If not, you should go back and watch that video, because the show was terrible and bad. This, though, is one of my favorite books. And something that I like to do is to have multiple editions of my favorite books, because usually they have different forewords or the covers are different or whatever the case may be. This one has a foreword by Janelle Monáe. I feel like I want to do a little side quest of us reading this and then watching the show so that I can hate watch the show again. Let me know what you think. It's just a phenomenal story. I think I'm not even gonna go on a rant. One of the greatest books I've ever read in my life. Next, I've been in the mood for Black fantasy. And the little FBI agent in my phone was listening to me and suggested Everfare to me by Nisi Shaw. I believe that's how that's pronounced. Correct me if I'm wrong. It says, in this reimagining of Belgium's disastrous colonization of Congo, African American missionaries joined forces with British socialists to purchase land from the Congo's Free State's owner, King Leopold II. This land, which they name Everfare, is set aside as a safe haven for native populations of the Congo, as well as settlers from around the world, including dream-eyed Europeans attempting to create a better society, formerly enslaved people returning from America, and Chinese railroad builders escaping hard labor. I feel like I'm gonna have to read this with my finger. I'm gonna try. Okay? I'm gonna try. Next, we have Overgrowth by Mira Grant. This is a sci-fi that I think is going to be a little bit funny. It is about a girl who has been telling people since she was 3 that she actually is an alien and that her people are coming back for her. And now it's all of these years later and they're actually coming back for her. Highly interested in this. Also, look at this cover. Isn't that beautiful? I have the audiobook for that as well, so that's going to be something else that I listen to and read at the same time. Okay. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I am a little bit musical obsessed. By a little bit, I mean a lot. And one of my favorite musicals is Sweeney Todd. So, of course, I had to get The Butcher's Daughter, which is a retelling of Mrs. Lovett's life. I do have the audiobook for this. Again, shout out to Liberal FM. They gifted me the ALC for this. I had to go get a copy because I do want to listen and read this at the same time. I just think this is going to be so good. Sweeney Todd lives rent free in my mind. Next, in the sci-fi fantasy realm of things, we have Hermatan Season by Tochi Onyebuchi. I don't think I'm saying that right, but I tried. Isn't the cover to this absolutely beautiful? Yes, it is. I know. This one is about a veteran and private eye named Boubacar. So it says, veteran and private eye Boubacar doesn't need much, least of all trouble, but trouble always seems to find him. Work has dried up and he'd rather be left alone to deal with his bills as the Hermatan rolls into the coast, the city in dust. Into coat the city in dust. I could read. But Booba is down on his luck, suspended between two cultures and two worlds, when a bleeding woman stumbles into his doorway, only to vanish just as quickly. Booba reluctantly finds himself enmeshed in the secrets of a city boiling on the brink of violence. It sounds good. I wanted to read this author for a while. Barnes & Noble's had this out early. They should not have done that, but I saw it and I bought it anyway. Yes, I did. I'm gonna get the audiobook for this as well, because I've never read the author's work, so I want to listen and read. And it's a tiny one, so it shouldn't be long. How many pages is this? Less than 300. So that's probably like a 7-hour audiobook. 7-8 hours. I can read it in a day. Next, something else that I've been looking forward to reading, My Father's House by John Conyers III. This is an ode to America's longest serving Black congressman, written by his son. I've had my eye on this since I saw that it was being released like late last year, and I just can't wait to read it. I don't hear people talking about John Conyers often, and I'm really interested in seeing or hearing about his life through his son's perspective. Again, I do have the audiobook for this, so I will be listening and reading at the same time. And I believe his son reads the audiobook, so that should be cool too. Next, you guys know that I did a video of book recommendations for books to read if you loved Sinners, and this book has been floating around real heavy, and I got it. Have not read it yet. I haven't read anything by this author. I do have one of his other books, but haven't read it yet. I think this one will be my first book into his category, and that is The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a horror. I haven't heard too many people say that they were like super scared. I got the audiobook for this as well because when I tried to read The Only Good Indians, felt like I was reading with my finger friend, and I'm not ashamed. What did TLC say? I ain't too proud to beg. I ain't too proud to say that I need help, okay? It had me, I read with my finger. I just get the audiobook. Sometimes you got to do both. So this one says that this chilling historical novel is set in the nascent days of the state of Montana, following a Blackfeet Indian named Good Stab as he haunts the fields of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. I mean, anybody named Good Stab, I'm probably gonna get out his way. I'm just saying, I'm probably gonna move out his way, because how we know he stabbed good? Who has he stabbed? It begins when a diary written in 1912 by a Lutheran pastor is discovered within a wall in 2012. What is unveiled is a slow massacre, a nearly forgotten chain of events that goes back to 217 Black feet dead in the snow, told in the transcribed interviews with Good Stab, who shares the narrative of his peculiar and unnaturally long life over a series of confessional visits. I think I'm gonna love this. I think I'm gonna love it. I'm really excited to read it. And then last but certainly not least, because my child had to come say hi to y'all, you don't need that, boy. Last but certainly not least, we have Broken Country. This is by Claire Leslie Hall. I absolutely bought this because of Bridget. What I will say is I got it from Barnes & Nobles and it was ripped. They gave me a 15% discount because this was the last one. What is this about? I don't even know. Beth and her gentle, kind husband, Frank, are happily married, though their relationship relies on the past staying buried. But when Beth's brother-in-law shoots a dog going after their sheep, Beth doesn't realize that the gunshot will alter the course of their lives. The dog belonged to none other than Gabriel Wolf, the man Beth loved as a teenager, the man who broke her heart years ago. Gabriel has returned to the village with his son Leo, a boy who reminds Beth very much of her own son, who died a few years earlier in a tragic accident. As Beth is pulled back into Gabriel's life, tensions around the village rise and dangerous secrets and latent jealousies from the past resurface, this time with deadly consequences. Beth is forced to choose between the woman she once was and the woman she has become. This sounds good and messy. It sounds good and messy. I am going to have to get some tape for this, though, because that's going to irritate my soul. But, yes, that is the last thing that I got. So, if you've made it this far, leave me a little stack of emoji, a stack of books emoji in the comments. If no one has told you today, I love you. You're kind, you're smart, you are important. If to no one else, to me. Bye, friends.